Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another episode of What's in My Bookcase. Up until now, I have tried really hard to sort of group books into themes. So cookbooks, sewing books, botanicals, you get the idea. Quotes. That, let's forget about that. I can no longer swing that because I think categories are getting smaller perhaps, and I need to deal with the new acquisitions that I'm getting. So from now on, it'll probably be a mixed bag of things, hopefully with something for everyone. So let's jump right in. This is a cute little book, and again, up until I became a nana to a grand dog, Gertie, a French bulldog, not this kind, but the fawn color, sort of the color of a baked potato. I would have probably skipped right past this. Anyway, this is just a little book about dogs, cute little end papers. Oh, I should have my ruler handy. And my cutest little ruler. Look at this. 5.5 by 5.5 roughly. So celebrating dogs. Now this guy apparently has something to do with 1-800-Flowers. So, obviously celebrating things is what keeps his business going. So there are cute little illustrations, some quotes, I guess some profiles of actual dogs. So just kind of a cute little thing that I think I maybe paid 50 cents for this book, and wouldn't feel bad taking it apart and using the signatures. Let's keep going. I found these two actually yesterday. You can see that I paid 50 cents for each one. And you can just tell by the cover that there's some, oh brother, it's stuck on for dear life. You can tell by the cover that these are old. Well, and by the price, 60 cents. So this is a Golden Nature guide. Most familiar American birds, copyright 49, and then this issue must be 1956. So, the illustrations back in the day tended to be more, I don't want to say naive because it's not naive, but simple and, just sort of off that era. So very cute, and I've said it before, it's nice when the description and the photo or the illustration are all on the same page. So, yeah, just a cute one, and I would never pass something like this up, especially at that price. Now this one, oh, it's another Peterson thing. How to Know the Birds. 72 full color illustrations, 400 drawings. This one, 49 and 57. So basically, same era as the other one. Now this one, obviously more black and white. But those are cute. I mean, can you imagine Fussy cutting around those little heads? Wouldn't that be sweet? Maybe running them down the side of a page. Let's flip to the color, though. Again, same sort of style of illustration, which just, adds to their appeal as far as I'm concerned. Hey, prickly pear cactus. Believe it or not, in our climate, I was able to grow these guys on a south-facing exposure. And there were 2 small basement windows there. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be a great deterrent for, not that there's really any home invasion break-in type things here. And this is years ago, probably 30 years ago. I planted a whole slug of these, and of course they overwintered, and I mean it was awesome. And they bloomed, and the only problem was that, my goodness, when you get quackgrass or something in there, heaven help you to try to weed an area that's full of cactus or cacti. So needless to say, they haven't been around for ages. Now, I have a collection of crystals. At one time, I was very much on a mission to acquire ones, partly because of their beauty and partly because I think that at some base level, I believe that they do have healing properties. So I have a number of these guides, because by now you've probably figured out that if one is good, then 14 is better. So I suspect that maybe at some point I'll do a journal. But of course, there are so many others that come before it. I have a chunk of this kind of amethyst, not the polished, but this sort of the more raw one, sitting on my laptop, because supposedly it helps with the, some of those electronic emanations from technology. So I just love a book like this. And for $1, you can be assured that it was going to go home with me. Regular price, $25. Now this is actually a duplicate of something I already have, but now for $1, let me see where we're sitting in the front frame here. I can easily and guilt-free cut up one and keep one intact. Now this this would probably lend itself nicely to repurposing the cover. It's got a decent sized spine. Anyway, part of the deal here is, oh, see, look how easily that came off. Some icky masking tape. In here are these 3 sets of sort of prompt cards. So wouldn't that be nice to be able to include or to use in my art journaling process? So now I have, like I said, cards that I can use a solution of 10 parts water to 1 part gum arabic to coat your paper. Let this dry completely. Repeat the first step. Mix this solution in a bottle and mark it so you won't forget and drink out of it. Ooh. Use this surface with India ink and watercolor or with watercolor alone. Now, of course, some of these things don't mean a thing to me. Okay, wet your paper thoroughly and draw freely with Caran d'Ache water-soluble crayons, savoir-faire aqua sticks, and then blah, blah, blah. Create a color, water-soluble pencils, and any other drawing tools you wish. You may do this on wet or dry paper. Select the color scheme after this step. Then draw and paint your subject over this agitated surface. Juxtapose flat, neutral areas to offset colored areas. I didn't know that paper could get agitated. I thought it was just artists who could get agitated. Anyway, you get the idea there. And then the book. Oh, I didn't really show you this. The Artist's Muse, Unlock the door to your creativity. Betsy Dillard Stroud. So this book would have, somebody cut the back cover off. This, so I know which one to cut up. This would have fit in this slot here. So again, we've seen this before. you know, art techniques. Probably more the inspirational and, okay, challenge. You know, do and learn type of scenario. So let's keep that intact. I also picked this up yesterday, which is kind of cute. I've never seen this thing before. And then as I was paying for it, 10 by 9.25, the lady said, "Oh, you got that. My friend donated that book." So why do those things bug me so much? So it is coil bound. Oh, she said that her friend is a seamstress. So like, hey, I'm no seamstress, but wouldn't that be cute to fussy cut that? Now, if these could be, these sorts of pages, well, clearly, if you wreck the coil, you can get them out, you can get the pages out intact. Not really wreck the coil, but, you know, deconstruct it carefully. So these are the types of pages that could also have holes punched and become a ring binder, a ring journal. So a lot of colorful illustrations, photos. So basically, I guess the whole gist of this is making those sort of 50s, 60s type dresses. Ooh. And then here at the back, I'm thinking, ooh, a bonus, this nice big pocket. Well, these are, I guess, the pattern pieces. So lots of yummy paper there. So definitely worth exploring. And again, because I just got this yesterday, I haven't even had a chance to flip through it myself. But I just thought that was coming home. And I can't believe how many of these visual dictionaries, well, this one says a visual glossary, I am encountering. I mean, I've shown you several, especially during the dictionary episode. But look at, this is bigger. 11.25 by 8.5. Oh, I guess this dirt was gift with purchase. But look at, well, I wouldn't want a grenade, but look at these cool. The paper is very matte, and you know, I'd say on the thin side. Would easily lend itself to fussy cutting or using as illustrations. Oh, did you ever want to know about the inner workings of a toilet? There you have it. So again, just another one of these visual type things. Now, I guess the disadvantage here is if you fussy cut, you'd have all these descriptive or all these lines kind of interfering with your picture. But certainly the pages are big enough that they could be, you know, folded, like removed intact. Oh, yeah, those seem to be real signatures. I mean, sewn signatures. Removed intact and used just as a piece of interesting something in a pocket. Okay, I have another small stack here, and then we will call it a day. The Himmery, United Church of Canada. Don't know that, I don't think they usually put dates on these things. Oh, 1930. So again, I mean, we've all seen these. I thought, and again, I'm no musician, but I just thought it was strange, maybe showing my ignorance here. All these open notes, like these have been filled in, so I guess that must mean something, but what about these that are all open? Like, I don't know what that means, but I don't need to use the book. I just thought, like, I guess that my preference is the ones with the solid music notes, because that is more attractive, in my little opinion. So DK, I've talked about these books before. 8 3/4. So they typically, by 5, make books like this, eyewitness books. Typically they're larger format. I think they're intended for children, and whatever the subject matter is, they tend to go into a lot of detail, a lot of good information, a lot of colored illustrations of all sizes that can be fussy cut. The part that kills me, like in Canada, I think those of us in the West tend to have a bit of an inferiority complex, or maybe some, I don't want to say aggression, because those are opposite ends of the spectrum, aren't they? We tend to lovingly mock Toronto, which considers itself the center of the universe. We tend to turn up our noses at central Canada, which is, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, sort of the highest density population and so on. And I think we're truly different people. So it just kind of irks me when they think they can get away with grouping, 3 prairie provinces, and think they've done us a favor, or, I mean, not that anyone. Well, where am I going with this? I'm annoyed when we don't get our share of credit, focus, our due, basically. So, for instance, British Columbia gets its whole, British Columbia and the Rockies. British Columbia gets its whole thing. Calgary gets a couple of pages, 3, 4 pages. I thought I saw a thing here for Edmonton. Well, my goodness, Edmonton is the capital city of this province. And did it get half a page? Like, come on, people. Look, that's Edmonton. Maybe there's another entry somewhere and I'm getting annoyed for nothing, but anyway. Maybe I'll end with that one. Okay, this one is just an attractive cover for one thing. 9 1/4 by just over 8. Ordinary Women, Extraordinary Lives, A Woman's Career Legacy. Kathleen Johnston. Somebody blocked something out there. Obviously inscribed by the author. This was probably part of, gift with purchase at a workshop or something. There's her story, I guess. And just a lot of good pages that can be used in other paper projects. I like those borders. I like these sorts of things. So, again, really good to use. That would be fun to fussy cut. So I think really well done. Attractive colors. So I took that one. Bought that one. Now look at, this is, kids gather around. This is something from your past. This is called an address book. Looky there. Mind you, it's not that ancient because it does reference email. It talks about mobile phones. It still includes faxes. This one has never been written in. Surprise, surprise. I can see deconstructing it, keeping the page intact, or, you know, backing something using that part, because there are all those lines. I mean, even if you cut that off there, you have nothing but lines to use on the back of some image. Plus, you know, there's nothing wrong with this cover. So I thought that was kind of a good thing. Let me see, this is a bigger book. Oh, it still fits in frame. Woohoo! Okay, The Good Housekeeping Illustrated Cookbook. A full-color photo gallery of over 900 dishes to choose from, plus illustrated step-by-step recipes. Just over 11 by 8.5. Aw, little soup tureens. It's got somebody's name there, 1986. Lovely paper. Look how beautiful that is. And of course, it's another, surprise, surprise, another Reader's Digest book. So this is 1980, which, when you think about it, is kind of getting up there. So full color illustrations that don't look sickly, that could be turned into envelopes or collage fodder, whatever. All these lovely little illustrations, the recipes themselves. Now this book, you can see there's something there, but it's virtually mint condition, sort of like my cookbooks, never been used. Oh dear. Did I say that with my inside voice? So, yeah, I don't know what I paid for this, but look at all those cakes and desserts. Hey, maybe it's time to do a dessert. Aw, maybe it's time to do a dessert journal. See if I had a lovely administrative assistant. What is with all these? Oh, they just did all these. Oh, I see. They're almost like thumbnails. So those are beverages. Those are sandwiches, cookies. Well, that's cool. There's pages and pages of desserts and pies, bread. What else have we got here? Oh, isn't that nice? Accompaniments, salads, vegetables, main dishes, meats, poultry. Yeah, it looks like well, probably one for every recipe. And again, not really those poor color pictures that make you think, ugh, I'm not eating that. Really nice book. So again, the Good Housekeeping Illustrated Cookbook. Okay, 2 more to go. This one is also on the bigger side. 12, almost 12 3/4 by 9 5/8. Florentine Art Treasures. Cloth cover. Royden is the publisher, I guess. Oh, glossy. Printed in Italy, but where is the date? Yeah, it's funny. They have copyright, but no date. Sometimes these European books have their info at the back. Nope. Again, some of these images are just too, well, in my opinion, too, I don't know. I want to say violent, but that wasn't particularly violent, that one. I don't know what this is about here, but anyway. So let's get a feel for when this was done. This work cannot be dated later than 1547 because the guy died. So obviously very, very old. You know, again, would a person ever use that? Probably not. A lot of sort of very dramatic, violent, gruesome things. Now these gals, what? 1500s. Oh my goodness. Is there anything better than a soft baby's bum? Than a baby's soft bum? The skin is so nice. The cheeks are so rounded, and babies are just a handful of goodness. You know, why would a guy think that this is the way to paint a woman? Is that not gratuitous boobies? Okay, you get the idea. A mixture of body parts and violence. Rather shiny paper. Okay, and let's end on something really quite cute. I remember when these books were available at Costco, there was another one on purses, and $14.95. So this is quite a long time ago. I bought my daughter one of each because it seemed like maybe she was a collector. But these are gorgeous. I mean, not that particular page exactly, but they're divided. I flipped through this one the other day. It's a smallish book, 4 by 6. Landscape. Okay, so a silk court shoe, 1800s, 1875, 1995. So they're basically, I think they did it by pumps, sandals. Okay, the sandal, the heel, slippers, little black dress shoes, the sensible shoe, the boot, platforms and stilettos, Fetis and Lotus shoes, and then one-of-a-kind shoes. So if a person ever, oh, Birkenstock, if a person ever wanted to do a shoe journal, there's certainly lots to pick from here. And of course, some of them are crazy. Can you imagine putting your foot into that? You'd need surgery after that. Unless that was never intended to be worn. It says exhibition boot, 1889. 1948. 19th century. 8-inch heels. Renders the wearer immobile and thrusts the foot forward like an offering. Flatters the distended curve of a woman's instep. That sounds painful. Do the words flat feet and plantar fasciitis mean anything to anyone listening to this video? How about orthotics? So these, most of these are torture devices. And then, of course, some of these are intended more as sculptural art forms than actually anything that someone would wear. Cinderella's Revenge. A glass slipper that transforms a charmaid into a princess has spawned playful interpretations by many contemporary artists. Lars Hagen's cut glass and mirror collage connotes the vanity and pain inherent in the too small shoe. Weird. Bed of nails. These sandals were worn by devout Hindus on special pilgrimage to fulfill a vow to the gods for a favor bestowed. Oh my goodness, that gives a whole new meaning to, you know, those kinds of shoes that you can only sit down in. Oh, this shoe. Weitzman preserved his first shoe design for posterity by dipping it in bronze like a baby's shoe, 1964. A heel of twisted steel. Anyway, maybe you're not quite as fascinated by this as... Oh my God. Botanic couture. Danish still life photographer Hillman transforms vegetables and flowers into fantasy footwear. Here, every part of the lowly leek was used to craft this bulb-toed pump. See, this is something we can get behind. These are collaged. Created these shoes using a papier-mâché technique from part of a $6 million cache of shredded bills he obtained from the Federal Reserve Board. 1984. Okay, Fiore collaged this postal penny loafer with layered envelopes. It seemed, she says, very apt to make a shoe, which literally and figuratively symbolizes movement and travel with postage stamps. This is sequins. This is who knows what. Oh, elongated cleats. Fashioned from scouring pads. Dice and other found objects. Oh my God, giraffe legs. This is like a pair of women's legs, and that's it. Anyway, obviously a lot of weird and wonderful things in this book. Maybe more on the weird, leaning towards the weird end of the spectrum. At the court of Louis the 14th, men wore shoes whose heels were painted with miniature rustic or romantic scenes. Anyway, oh my goodness, some of these just are strange. Cluster of cherries. Hard to believe that this could stay on. Invisible sandal with high heel, 1947, Ferragamo. Anyway, let me stop there. You don't want to hear about every single shoe. Straw sandal, 1935. This looks like, oh, kid skin cord combined with packing string. Anyway, we will stop there. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're enjoying this series and other content on my video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We're still working towards those first 500 subscribers and a very first giveaway and probably an Etsy shop sale. So please, until then, stay safe, keep creating. Wander through your library and see what goodies you may have and have forgotten you own. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.